Hi, and welcome back. We are still on systems and systems with three variables. So the idea is we want to try to get X or Y or Z, just eliminate one letter throughout all this. And we could do substitution, but I think I'm going to choose to do elimination here. Like, I would say looking at these, I would guess it's the easiest to get rid of, let's say, Z, because everything on here, if this is equation number 1, number 2, and number 3, this Z doesn't have a number with it, so it might be the easiest. So let's say I take number 1 and number 3. If I was going to use number 1 and 3, so to start with, you just need to decide what letter do you want to eliminate, or what letter do you want to get by itself. Maybe getting Z by itself down here is the easiest, and then you can substitute that into your other two problems. That's an idea. I'm just going to write down the first and the third one together. So to eliminate the letter Z, I would need to multiply this row by a -5. Because if this becomes a -10 to negative is +5, and these two will eliminate. So you're going to keep that top equation the same. And we're going to multiply everything on the bottom row by -5. Don't know this one. -5 times -17 equals 85. Now if you add straight down, you will get 27x minus 11y, those cancel, equals 103. So I chose two of the equations to do together, and now I've eliminated the Z, so I only have two letters left. So instead of using 1 and 3, let's do 2 and 3. So line 2 is -3x plus 5y plus 2z equals -27. And line 3 is -5x plus 3y minus z equals -17. Whatever letter you chose to eliminate here, you need to choose to eliminate the same letter in the other two. So I was eliminating Z, so I need to multiply by 2 to make that a 2Z to eliminate the Z's. I'm just going to try and draw a wall here so copying the top one exactly as you see it. I'll multiply everything on bottom by 2. Now I can add straight down. That gives me -13x plus 11y. The z's cancel, which is what I was trying to do. -27 plus -34 equals -61. Now you are down to two letters, X and Y, X and Y. So now we are down to a system. So we can put those two together using elimination or substitution. Looking at what I have left, I would say probably elimination is the best route, just based on the numbers. I'm going to put a star here and a star here. I'm going to take these two problems, and like I said, you really have the choice to use elimination or substitution here. Looking at these numbers though, it would be hard to get X or Y by itself without getting a decimal, so I'm just going to add these together and get 14x equals, because it already eliminates a number, letter. And then you divide by 14. X equals 3. So once you're at like the bottom, you have one letter. Now you go back up to the ones that have two letters. So I'm going to plug, let's say in here, negative 13 times 3 plus 11y equals negative 61. Negative 39 plus 11y, when you multiply those. I'm going to add 39 to the other side. Negative 22. Divide y equals negative 2. Okay, now we went from one letter to two letters. Now we need to plug these two into one of these original problems to find the missing letter. It really doesn't matter which level you choose. If I just do the top one, 2 times 3 plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5z equals 18. So you're plugging your two answers you have into the problem. Simplify or solve. And add 2 to the other side. Negative 5z equals 20. Divide, you get z equals negative 4. Okay, so you now have all three of your answers. I'm going to write this ordered pair over here because I kind of ran out of room. So 3, negative 2, negative 4. X, y, z. So that is the point that all three of those planes meet at. Okay. Last one, like I said, if you haven't tried one of these on your own, I would try this one on your own. And then come back to the video. Looking at these numbers, I would say we could probably get rid of the x's or the y's. I typically choose one that doesn't have a number by it. It just kind of makes it easier. So I'm going to do like equation 1 with equation 2. So I'm just, right now, just literally copying down 1 and 2. Exactly as you see them. And if I think I'm going to choose to eliminate, let's say, the y's, I would need this to be a 4, so this is negative 4 and positive 4 to eliminate. So we're going to multiply this whole row by 4. And I'm just going to write it under here. That gives me an 8. That would be minus 4y plus 24z equals negative 16. You add these two things together. You get 14x. The y's cancel out, which is our point, plus 19z equals negative 23. Nope. Yep. Okay, so we chose in this problem to eliminate the y's. So now if I want to do 2 and 3 or 1 and 3, you can really choose which one, because eliminating the y's on any of those really isn't going to be too bad of a problem. So I think I'm going to do, let's do, what did I do before? I did first one and last one. So let's do 1 and 3. So copying down number 1, copying down number 3. Like I said, the main thing is don't change the letter you're trying to eliminate. If you look here, there's no y, so I'm trying to eliminate the y. To eliminate the y, I need this one to come out to a positive 2. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 2, because a negative times a negative would make this become a positive. Once I've distributed to all of those, you can add those two things together. Negative 8x. You'll see that the y's cancel each other out. And 7z equals 17. now, I'm going to star. This one has an X and a Z, and this one has an X and a Z. So now we're down to a system with just two variables. You can look, getting X by itself or Z by itself looks kind of messy because there's going to be a lot of fractions. So I think I'm just going to choose the elimination method again. You have negative 8x minus 7z equals 17, and we have 14x plus 19z equals negative 23. Now, I'll be honest, there's no easy way to do this one, like 8, there's a number close that they both go into. 7 and 19 don't necessarily go into the same numbers, so the quickest way to do one like this when there isn't an obvious get this letter by itself or what to multiply by, the quick way is if you don't know, multiply by the numbers that you see. For instance, if I multiply this by 14 and this one by 8, we'll end up with one negative and one positive, and we'll be able to eliminate a letter. So I'll multiply the whole top row by 14. 14 times negative 8 is negative 112. 14 times negative 7 is negative 98. 15 times 17, 238. Okay, now we're going to do the bottom row and take 8 times 14, 8 times 18, 8 times negative 23. 19 is plus 152z. 8 times negative 23 is negative 184. Now we can eliminate, in this case, I chose to eliminate my x's. You add these two together, you get 54z. So you get 54. Divide them both by 54. Looks like z equals 1. Remember, once you have one letter, you want to work back to where there's two letters. And once you have two letters, you work back up to where there's three letters. So, if you plug in, let's say z, negative 8x minus 7 times 1. So I'm going to substitute it in. I'm going to add 7 to the other side, negative 8x. 17 and 7 make 24. And we're going to divide them both by negative 8. X equals negative 3. So we have z and we have x. Now we want to find y. So again, you just keep working back up to the original problem. In this case, the original one, it doesn't matter which one you pick. If there's any one that looks easier than the other. Not really. So I'll do 2 times negative 3 minus y plus 6 times 1 equals negative 4. You'll do your multiplying first. And when I combine my like terms here, negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So I have negative y equals negative 4. Divide both sides by the negative. Y equals 4. So remember your x, y, z answer. My answer would be negative 3, 4, 1. So that is my final answer. So all that solving systems, this one I did heavy on elimination, just due to trying to get it down to just one or two letters. Sometimes, like this one, if they give you z equals or x equals or y equals, you want to use substitution.